Okay. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, pleasant evening to everybody. This is day number 19. Day number 19. We're making progress here, people. Time's moving along. We're almost half the way through. We have what? 3 more days? Oops. Let's fix this. I just touched stuff and it fell apart. Let's fix this first before we go any further. Ah, my goodness. How did I do that? Okay. There we go. Yes, it's day number 19, and it is also a Friday. And Friday, like some of you will know, is my favorite day of the week because I was born on a Friday. So Friday is kind of like my birthday. I celebrate my birthday every week. And one of the cool things I do, what I think it's cool, and when I decided this years and years ago, on Fridays I always wear white. Can't remember, well, I know why I did it, but I can't remember why it became, well, I think it just became unchangeable because I've been doing it for so much. Years ago, one of my friends was doing some spiritual work, which required her to wear white for a very long time. And I thought I'd give her some support by wearing white along with her. And I like it. I like white. I like to dress in white. I like colors. I love to wear black. And so I do. And there are some people who are very specific and very, I don't want to say limited, but very focused in the number, the clothes they wear, the colors that they wear. I'm not like that. I wear any color pretty much. But there are times when I just really want to be wearing white, times I really want to be wearing black. So anyway, that's my Friday. Friday is a very special day for me. And Friday afternoons, I just do whatever I want to do. If I want to hang out with people, I do. If I don't, I don't. If I want to sleep on Friday afternoon, I do that. This is a habit I've had for years and years. And that is for me, that is part of keeping my body strong. It's part of looking after myself, taking care of the different parts of me, and making sure that my spirit, my being, my insides, my internal parts, my internal aspects are being cared for. It's part of my self-care. Remember a few episodes ago, we talked about self-care. Self-care is not just getting a pedicure, getting a manicure, going to the spa. That's the surface that's the easy kind of self-care. The self-care that requires real deep commitment and application is the one that has you, I don't know, meditate, think, journal, talk to yourself, work things out, challenge yourself, stretch yourself to do something different, better, more. So anyway, the last couple of days we've talked about my newly written philosophy. Um, I keep my face clean. I keep my body strong. I keep my hair wild. And it's new only in that I have only articulated it as such recently, just very recently articulated it. So, but it is the way I've been living my life. And remember that keeping your face clean is just ensuring that you're operating in integrity, yeah, with principle, with honor, with values that you are proud to uphold, that you don't have to worry about feeling ashamed and getting mud on your face or egg on your face, or feeling embarrassed or ashamed of yourself. And I made a special point of asking that women, that we think about those, especially in with respect to the other women in our lives, that we look after our sisters in ways, we interact with our sisters in ways that uphold this. Yeah. And then last night we talked about keeping our body strong. And we talked about the physical body, keeping the physical body strong. We didn't talk much about that because I just sort of take it for granted that we know what that means. It means getting exercise. It means eating properly. It means getting adequate rest and relaxation. It means getting checked out by the doctors as often as necessary to ensure that your health is being taken care of. You're doing preventive health. Preventive health is real self-care. We want to delay, if not altogether avoid, the illnesses that can be avoided. And the other aspects of keeping your body strong are those that allow you to allow your presence, your inner aspects to shine through in ways that inspire people, that make people feel good, that make you feel good, that show all the grace and good that you are capable of. I like the sound of that, grace and good. And in fact, today I was thinking about this, and one of the things that came to mind was we talk about gratitude and being grateful, and we ought always to be grateful where there is reason to be grateful, to other people, to the universe, to ourselves. But it occurred to me that many of us, if not most of us, could do a better job of being gracious with ourselves. Not just grateful, but gracious. Be kind to ourselves. Not question ourselves, not put ourselves down so much, not deny ourselves so much, but just be gracious and loving and kind with ourselves the way you would with the person you love most in the world. And then, so anyway, tonight we're talking about keeping your hair wild. You see the state of my hair. I went to the beach yesterday, and I came back and it's sort of like this. And you might not want to keep your hair as wild as mine. And bear in mind that when I say keep your hair wild, I don't mean it necessarily literally, although I love the idea of my hair wild. And I love the idea of my hair wild for a number of reasons. One is just, it takes so much time to take care of my hair. And I'd rather be doing other things than taking care of my hair. I think hair is good and nice and necessary, but my relationship with my hair is not a very deeply involved one. So I made sure that my hair is clean. Sometimes it's cut very nicely. Other times I'm wearing dreads, like I'm doing here, sort of, kind of beginning to wear dreads. And then right now I'm actually thinking of shaving it all off and starting all over again. So it's not about the hair itself, although I would advise you to sometimes just let your hair go, let your hair out, let your hair down. It's a metaphor for releasing yourself, being open and receptive, and also being giving, being generous. Just sort of give of yourself. Let your hair down, let your hair out. Give up yourself to the music, to the dance, to the ride, enjoy. It really is important that we do that. Let the wind blow through your hair. Let your hair just blow wild. And then, of course, the other important part of this, to me, I keep my hair wild is a way of saying I pay attention to my ability to be creative. All of us have that ability, and it shows up in different ways. Some of us write, some of us paint, some of us speak, some of us cook, some of us garden, all kinds of things. There are all kinds of ways to be creative. And when I say keep your hair wild, that's what I mean. Let your hair out. Let your mind be open. Your hair is on your head. That's where your brain is. That's where your thoughts are. And where your emotions connect, by the way, and which your brain is what sends the signals for you to act on whatever the emotions are, whether you paint them out or write them out. So keeping your hair wild is paying attention to your creativity and allowing it space to live, to breathe. And wild, I use wild because The opposite of that is what we are often, especially as women, required so much. To be tame, be careful, don't be too much of anything. Just let go and be wild. I remember, and it's interesting how where women are concerned, these words take on such different tones. My sisters and I, for example, we love to go on road trips. My mom did too. Just get in the car and go drive. And you live in the United States, we live in a big country. You can get in the car and go drive for hours at a time. And so we drive from New Jersey to Boston just for the day or for the weekend. We drive up to Canada. We drive across to, just drive. Remember once my sisters and I, hi ladies, hi. Once my sisters and I drove, we took off for we said we were in New Jersey and we said we would go to, it was, I think, Memorial Day weekend. And we just decided on a whim, the three of us were in New Jersey at the time. And we decided, let's just go up to DC and see the White House. So we got in our car, we drove up to DC to see the White House, and thought, well, it's not as big or imposing as we thought it might have been. It really wasn't. We were a little bit disappointed, I have to say. But then we still had a lot of time. So, okay, what should we do? We decided to drive down to Virginia Beach. So we got to Maryland Harbor. We had dinner, and then we drove. We thought, okay, we'll spend the night somewhere. Drove down to Virginia Beach. It's a whole long story. I won't tell you now, but we got stopped by the police and all kinds of stuff and made it to Virginia Beach anyway. Had a good weekend, and headed back because we were keeping our hair wild. You're being open to stuff, being creative and receptive and seeing what there is that can generate some thought. We passed crayfish booths on the side of the road where they sell crayfish, for example. We thought, we didn't know of that. So when you let your hair, keep your hair wild, you allow yourself experiences like that generate new thoughts. Experiences generate new thoughts. And I tell children, for example, I want them to develop a vocabulary of experiences. A vocabulary of experiences helps your creativity, because what is creativity except the ability to put things together in new ways? It is absolutely true that there's very little that's new in the world. Yeah, there's very little that's new in the world. Even computers, the foundations of computers and the internet are not new. Okay, that's old mathematics. When you think about it, really, you go really, really right back. The studies into the universe, into the cosmos has been there for millions and millions of years. So it's certainly not new. Okay, so being creative is having the ability to take this information that's there and put it together in ways it has not been put together before. A new song, a new poem, a new turn of words, a new spice that give, or new a new spice or new some that gives a dish a different flavor. That's creativity, and you are able to do more and more of that when you have this vocabulary, when you've allowed yourself to have the experiences that you can. It's not just 2 + 2 = 4. It's 2 + 2 + 3 plus 2.5 plus 8.576. You have lots of pieces to put together to create something new. And you can really have those experiences only if you allow yourself to be a little wild, to be a little different, out of the norm, to act, to operate outside of the restrictions that are put on people, especially on women. So when I talk about keeping my hair wild, it's because literally I keep my hair wild, and because actually I also am always open to these experiences that allow me to learn different things, to incorporate different feelings and thoughts, and explore other people's feelings and thoughts, by the way, and learn from them. And then they come back to mind when you're doing something and you find just this little tweak that makes the absolute difference. Now, I don't know about perfection. I like to think of excellence rather than perfection. But Leonardo da Vinci wrote that trifles make perfection, and perfection is no trifle. So it's the little things that make things really beautiful and perfect. And those beautiful, perfect things are not little things. Anything at all done beautifully, perfectly, or as close to perfect as possible is not a little thing. And the ability to do that comes from having this vocabulary of experiences that allows you more things to put together. Now, think of writers. This is the easiest one to think of: writers or painters or musicians. Those are familiar to everybody. Writers use words. You have a vocabulary, whether it's English, Spanish, Italian, Hindi, whatever the language is. You writers are the best writers. The only way to be a really good writer is to have a good command of the language, and that means to have a broad, wide vocabulary, words, yes, and the emotions that attach to them. And you can articulate the emotions when you have the words. And I use that not just in ordinary everyday living, but when I'm working with girls who had difficult childhoods, for example, who are dealing with abandonment issues and neglect and just painful experiences in life, and who shut down like many of us do when we have difficult times. For many of us, our deepest response is to just close down and move away from the pain. Yeah. And with them, a lot of the work that I do is to have them identify the emotions that they feel, the different emotions, and articulate them. And when you can identify and articulate them, you're better able to deal with them because now you have the vocabulary. So, and I think, let's think, for example, of angry. We could be angry, we could be pissed, we could be annoyed, we could be irritated, we could be livid. There are all kinds of ways to be angry. And lots of times when we think we are angry, or people think we are angry, actually we are hurting, we are in pain. And sometimes we don't even know that, unless, of course, we have the experience and the vocabulary to define those. And that's what writers do. Think of music. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's all there is to it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. 7 notes. And look what we've all done with 7 notes. Every single one of us probably has sung some little thing, woke up some morning with a tune in your head that was never, ever anywhere, but we're not musicians, so we don't write it down. And you hear musicians talk about getting these inspirations, and then they didn't write them down. It's lost forever. That's a whole brand new song. That's a new way of putting together these 7 notes. That is creativity. That comes from having this vocabulary, and that vocabulary comes from remaining wild and open and not keeping the hair all necessarily the same length. Be wild, be a little bit wild. That makes life really, really interesting and fun, by the way. Gives you great stories to tell, trust me on that. And it gives you a wonderful vocabulary to do and enjoy and see different aspects of all kinds of things: the world, people, individuals. And if you take nothing else tonight, take this. When you have this vocabulary of experiences, when you have this, you allow yourself this wildness, you get to see so many different aspects of us, human beings. It makes, literally, it makes you less restrictive, more open, more receptive to the differences in between you and other people. And there's very little more important to me, I think, to us as human beings, I think, than the ability to just take people as they are, to not judge and put down, but to understand all these differences that there are amongst human beings, to find the value in them. So my dreadlocks has value. My dark brown dreadlocks with some gray coming in now are just as beautiful, powerful, valuable as, I don't know, any blonde curl under or curl over, or any, red gypsy hair, whatever, you know. Um, and you can have the grace. I think grace is a good word. You can have the grace to value other people's differences when you've had these experiences. So part of being wild is allowing yourself to travel. We talked about that some more. We talked about that earlier, and I talk about it all the time. Travel, travel, travel. Go where you've never been before, both literally and figuratively. Be wild. Get all the new experiences and watch what happens to your life. Watch what happens to how you feel about yourself and about other people. The openness, being open and receptive and generous and non-judgmental is by far the best thing that human beings can be. So go have yourselves a lovely weekend. We've passed our time. Go have yourselves a good weekend. Find something wild to do. Climb a tree if you haven't climbed a tree anytime recently. Go climb a tree. Go eat something you haven't eaten ever before. Go do something with your friend. Talk to somebody you would not normally speak to. If you're white, go talk to somebody black. If you're a woman, go talk to a man. If you are, or talk to a child. How about that? Have a good conversation with a child, not baby talk. Have a good conversation with a child. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed the conversations you can have with children, the difference they can make to your outlook and your perspective. All right. So thank you for hanging out with me this Friday night. Tomorrow is Saturday. Well, the weekend has begun. So have yourselves a lovely, lovely weekend. Enjoy your Saturday, whatever you do. And we will see each other again tomorrow night. Thank you, gentlemen who came in. And ladies, Maureen, Beulah, nice to see you guys. Nice to see you, ladies. Take good care.